Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Jordan here. Not too long ago, I decided to upgrade the beach water here in the Lego City. It looks pretty good. I love the underlying plate. It just adds like some nice depth to it. I think I used like 4 different colors, then I put those trans blue tiles over top of it, and it just looks really good, especially over here by the sand or the beach where we have like the medium azure. It just looks very tropical. And then after I finish this beach, I didn't add any details other than these guys right here. He's been stuck in the air in that pose for quite some time, but they're playing some beach volleyball. I guess we got the skate park right here as well, and also the little boardwalk. But today I want to start adding more beach details like stories and minifigures because my old beach had so many different stories like sandcastle tournaments and all sorts of fun stuff. So I need to add that back into Lego City. But honestly, I think it looks good without it. Like, I don't want to leave it like this forever, but it's looked good. Like that just looks great in my opinion. Just plain Jane. But you know what? I gotta add the stories back. I mean, this guy, he's been fishing for quite some time. He's pretty lonely. I just like this nice water detail here with the Lego Ideas sailboat and the lighthouse, the old fishing store, the rock work leading up to the cave. Ah, I love looking at this right when I come down here into the Lego room and seeing the city. Now my plan is to upgrade the palm trees. This is my original design, and this is the new upgraded design. I love these. They can be posed at this interesting angle. They sort of droop. In fact, I think this one's drooping a bit too much. Just need to add some more of those 2x2 circular jumpers to the stock of it or trunk of it, I guess, that's fed onto the flex tubing. But yeah, I have parts on order to build more like this, but they're on their way from Germany and they're going to take a while to get here. So I'm not going to be able to upgrade these palm trees today, but eventually that will be done. Something that my beach has never had is a fish market. So I wanted to add one of those here today. So that's what I started with. I think it adds some nice little detail. It's right here by the diner and the skate park and the bike rental area, and also the shower. I'll be adding some more details to the shower. We need some wet sand, right? Definitely need some wet sand all over the place. But here we have this lady. She's buying a fish, and I just used these standard crate elements. They're 3x4 studs. Put them at an angle using some of those hinge pieces. There's an employee. She's got her like fishing vest on. And then I added a little spice shop, or I don't know, just a little stand where they're selling some spices, right? Maybe some tartar sauce. I don't know. Use some arches and then some of the curved slopes. All I had was the orange and dark gray. Would have liked to use like 1x1s in that size, but I didn't have any colors, so it is what it is. I used orange and dark gray. Look at this. I've got the shark hanging upside down there. Well, I guess just downward, and the seagull on top trying to take a bite of the shark. There you go. This gentleman here is buying some fish. Got some more of those crates, some with lobsters, bluefish, and then I built this little custom rack right here where this fisherman's got his fish on display, and I just spaced out those plates using some jumpers on some plates, and I think it looks good. Just sort of displays the fish quite nicely. And then in the middle, I put some of these barrel elements with some crabs. So we've got lobster, crab, fish, and also some spices, maybe some tartar sauce. Figured I wanted to add one more thing. Maybe they'd be renting or selling fishing rods, right? So there we go. We got some fishing rods, built those using the antennas, and there's 4 of them on display there just behind the bike rack. I think that's all you need to create a nice little fishing rod, just the antenna, and then one of those modified 1x1 plates, a chrome stud, and a black circular tile on top of that to create the reel. And there you go. Now we got fishing rods at the fish market. This gentleman here is just quite the fisherman. He is trying to teach people how to fish. He's got his big old rod there leaned up against the rock. He's pretty psyched. He's selling some of his fish at the fish market. These palm trees do look pretty good, but when they're the larger ones that can sort of like droop over the scene almost, oh, it's just going to look so much better. I decided to add some wet sand detail here, and I'm probably going to be texturing the entire beach with more sand as well. Now, I really miss building with Jose. She used to build with me down here every single day. But at the end of the day, we're both really tired, and it's like, I don't think I want to do more work because Lego is classified as work now. So at the end of the day, after looking after the kids, we don't really build Lego together, unfortunately. Sometimes we do, but not all the time. But she came up with this awesome scene when we had the old beach layout, and it's actually a sand castle building tournament. So there's 3 people in the tournament. This young lady here with her grandmother, she's super proud of what she built. She's getting a picture with her sand castle, and she got some ice cream. And then this gentleman over here, he's like, oh yeah, I won the prize. I built the biggest and best sandcastle this beach has ever seen. But then this gentleman right here, he lost. He was in second place. He's like, oh, he's so angry. He's like the Hulk. So he decided to kick his sandcastle, and you can see some of the sand is actually flying through the air. So I like this story. It's one that Jose came up with, and I wanted to keep it here on the beach. A beach requires surfing, and surfing requires bigger waves. Right now, my beach is using 1x1 cheese slopes, like the trans-clear ones, and in some cases, I put the 1x2 plates underneath them just to raise them out of the water a bit. Overall, this makes a pretty small wave. I think they look good, but they're not really big enough to have people surfing on them. I think they might look good over here, but maybe I need to try and increase the size of some of these waves along my entire beach, like I did with this one here where we can see this lady surfing. And I did that using the 2x2 trans-clear slopes that I bought off the pab wall, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And then I also surrounded those using some of those 1x2 plates and also the 1x1 cheese slopes. And I think that makes a better looking wave. It's just larger. And then I was able to put the surfer at this angle here. She's just slightly lifted out of the water because I just increased the height of this plate right there. And then I put her in there and sort of locked her in place with a plate that overlaps onto the back of her surfboard. It's crazy to think how long I've spent on this like ocean water. Building it, rebuilding it, increasing the size of the waves, changing the waves, tearing it all apart. It's actually crazy, but I'm really happy with the end result. I think it looks pretty good. A while back, I don't know if I featured it, but I did change up my washroom. That's what this is here. It was dark gray, but I changed it to nougat. I just think that's a better color. And then you can see some of the waves have been changed up here along the boardwalk as well. So I'm really happy with the outcome of that, except for this missing 1x2 tile. Have to fix that up, I guess. Yeah, I'm really happy with the outcome of the waves. I think the bigger ones are just a bit more realistic. And now they're actually large enough, so it makes sense to position a surfer or a minifigure or some sort of boogie boarder or maybe a windsurfer on the wave. After upgrading the waves, it was time to move on to details and storytelling with minifigures. But before I got to doing that, I wanted to change up the roof of the washroom and also add the washroom sign. The previous roof was just a little bit too colorful, and it had slopes on all 4 sides, and it also had a flat, tiled off dark orange roof. Decided to change it up to dark blue, and then added a vent on the top there, and now it only has slopes coming off the front. It overhangs by 1 stud, and I put those modified 1x2 plates on it. And then once again, there's some details inside as well, such as the sink, the toilet, also the toilet paper, and also put a bench on the side of it to break up that harsh wall there, and also added a little cement pad out front of it as well. Just think that looks a little bit better. Now we've got lots of stories being told here at the beach. First off, we've got this young lady here who's doing a good deed and picking up some trash on the beach. Then we have a lifeguard, this guy here, on his cell phone. And then actually Marissa right there, just sig fig. Couple beach chairs. It's bring your own beach chairs, so all the beach chairs are different. The gentleman's contemplating whether or not he should go in the water, but he looks sort of like he's up to no good, eh? The facial expression on that guy, wow. I did place some minifigures in the water. There's this lady here. Just removed her legs. There's one of our beach cabanas right there beside the flowers. And then we've got some flippers, snorkel gear, and also a turtle. Changed up the hammocks so they're actually stuck onto the base of our large palm trees. We've got a couple more sig figs right there as well. That's Tanjam and Toadborg hanging out underneath the palm trees. You know, those 3 wanted to be on the beach a very long time ago, so they remain on the beach today. Pretty funny, but yeah, I just stuck an antenna through the bottom of the palm trees, and then I was able to attach these fabric pieces to make hammocks. And they were actually originally found in the people packs, but they were attached to some really small trees, so I changed that up there. Then we've got a shark who's about to do some surfing. Also another lifeguard staff. Another lady in the water there, about to do some surfing as well. It's the original surfer that we added. Crab on the beach there. This guy's going for a walk in the wet sand. And there's a little hermit crab over here by this gentleman who's going for a swim. And then I added one more surfer over here. This is a windsurfer. And on this corner of the beach, there's a little sea turtle nest. Some fresh eggs. And one of them already hatched and is heading out to the water. This guy over here is doing some metal detecting. Looks like he found some gold. And there's a little beach towel here, or beach blanket set up. She's just hanging out with her pupper dog. This guy's about to head into the water with his rubber duck floaty. Got an ice cream stand right there. So the position of things have moved around just to make some more space on the beach. I had to move the volleyball net, and also the sandcastle tournament. Sorry, I have a hard time speaking, everybody. But yeah, we got a lady with her hot dog and her dog there. A couple more beach chairs. There's the sandcastle tournament over here. Same sort of setup, but one additional minifigure. And behind that young gentleman there's a seagull that found a little hot dog beside the hot dog vendor, and also another lifeguard. I was originally thinking I was going to get rid of this, but I think when it's stuck in that corner there, it doesn't look too bad. It's also tiled off underneath the ATV, so I just think that looks a little bit more permanent. That's where the volleyball used to be. And then of course back over here, there's the fish market that we added earlier. And then I put the little boat anchor there from the old fishing store. So yeah, lots of little stories happening here, and there's some really good ones behind the scenes as well. Sort of little Easter eggs that you have to spot. And those are actually back behind the lighthouse on top of the hill. But first off, there's this guy over here who's cleaning up after his dog. And then we've got some frogs and some seagulls among the rocks here. But check it out. We got Batgirl who's going for a dive there, doing some cliff diving. There's Batman in his Speedo in the canoe doing some advanced whitewater rafting in his canoe there. And then there is Joker on the rocks, right? Vacation Joker. And up here we have Robin who's sort of cheering on Batman. And there's actually another kayaker who's making his way through the very dangerous creek there, as there's lots of dead trees that have fallen over and sort of obstructed the waterway there. So there's the new and improved beach with a bunch of stories added. I think it looks pretty good. For right now, it's pretty much done. Besides upgrading the palm trees, I still need to get that done, like I mentioned before. And also, I need to modularize this building here. Still want to make it some sort of surfing / skateboarding shop where you can buy a skateboard or a surfboard. And then I want to make this the noodle shop, like make it 16 studs, and make the toy store here 16 studs as well. So once I finish those off, this beach area is pretty much going to be complete. And this whole corner of the city is going to be complete as well. So it's pretty exciting because the zoo looks good, the mountain looks good, the campground looks fantastic, this whole forested area, the beach looks up to par now. I think it looks better than it did actually. You know, I was hesitating to add these details, but now I like it. Also the parking lot with the diner and the skate park, and I just think it sort of pulls everything together. Lots of color and a very good POV shot now with all of these stories, and the minifigures just add so much color and so much more detail to the city. Definitely takes it to the next level, and I'm excited about those new palm trees and these little mini modular building upgrades. Let me know what you think by commenting below. I hope you enjoyed my little update here as we finally finish off the beach It's been a long time in the making, but I'm extremely happy with the outcome of this. Thank you so much for coming on by. Remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.